I before I begin on why JassieAndRyRy has come to an end, I'd like to say that these people are wonderful. They bring so much joy into my life. Please do not hate on them. I did play a part in the forming of this friendship as well. So I would like to go into some background first so it all makes sense. Me and Maddie, as people who watch, you guys know how we have been dating for 2 years now, but the relationship, in all honesty, was toxic and was not stable. Before I had thought about breaking up with her, I didn't want this relationship to continue, but each time I would type out a message to break it up, she would tell me that I was her reason for living and I was the only one that she could ever love. And me being my age, like I'm still a kid, that was a lot of pressure for me because I'm also having issues with my mental health, and that was a lot to carry. So recently, me and Maddie were going to meet up on July 8th, but on that night, I felt so much pressure and I exploded. I went to my mom and I told her I wasn't so sure Maddie should come see me this summer because it affects my mental health. So we didn't end meeting up, and that caused a lot of problems between me and her. She wasn't really talking to me much. She was in more of a bad mood. So I waited a couple of days before finally breaking it off with her because I didn't I didn't like I didn't want to continue a relationship that I didn't want to be in. And the reason I broke it off to her a couple more days because I didn't want it to be too much with how upset she already was that she couldn't see me this summer. I told her, hey, like, I can't be in this relationship anymore. My mental health is down, and I think we are not helping each other as much as we'd like to. So she said it was okay and that she loved me. She was and I was happy with the result. I want to say I do love Maddie and I still do. But I have to put my mental health first as much as I hate it because before I can help her with hers, I need to help myself with my own. So before this, I attempted suicide by overdosing on Tylenol. I was brought to the hospital and I stayed there for 1 to 2 weeks before leaving. Everyone was saying I was different, which made me angry because in my mind, how could they expect me to be fine after that? So I lashed out at everyone. I was easily irritated and no one would talk to me anymore. A while after breaking up with Maddie, things between me and Ryleigh were awkward because they were friends and I didn't know how to feel about that. Never in my life have I really let my emotions control my actions. I've always been the kind of calm person in a situation, but something inside me popped and I could not control myself. So as I said, I never let my emotions control my actions, but Maddie was always calling Ryleigh her best friend, and something snapped inside me, and I became jealous and angry, but I've never become jealous. Normally I wouldn't be jealous in this situation. Ryleigh can be friends with whoever she wants, but when Maddie called her best friend, that like that little bottle inside me just broke and shattered into glass. And I lashed out at Maddie, and Maddie, in the way Maddie responded, it only made me more irritated. I know I shouldn't have lashed out in that moment, but all of my bottled up emotions came spilling out, and I could not control what I said. Ryleigh messaged me telling me to leave Maddie alone, and I lashed out at her and told her that she doesn't know Maddie like I do. She doesn't know how Maddie manipulated me into staying in a relationship that was tearing me up inside. And that's true. Ryleigh didn't know that. Ryleigh never knew about my situation with Maddie because I never told her. So I said everything to Ryleigh, and it upset me that my best friend for 5 years would choose someone she's only known for 2 weeks over me. And that's what brought me back to square one. With Ryleigh, my mental health had always been better and she always made me happy. So when she chose Maddie over me, my world literally came crashing down. It felt like every piece of happiness in me just vanished like that. I felt horrible. I wanted to die then and there. I felt the same way I did when I attempted that night, and that scared me. So I reached out to a friend, and they were there for me. No one besides them has really been talking to me, which only made my mental health worse because that made me feel very unwanted in the group. A day after, I felt so much better after binge reading fanfics that made me smile all night, until I checked my messages the following night, and someone by the name of TurtleCR messaged me. I didn't know who this was, so I was excited, thinking, it might be someone off of VR chat that I was good friends with, until they informed me that they were Maddie's soon-to-be boyfriend. I ended things with Maddie, so I thought to myself, why does this hurt me? I mean, I should be completely fine with Maddie finding someone else. It's her life. We are over, so why does it hurt so much? I was fine with it. He said he was going to treat her well, so I was fine with it. But I guess a part of me inside always thought, how'd she move on so fast? And I don't know why I expected her not to. So until the next day, when my friend Andrea messaged me, I was fine until the next day when my friend Andrea messaged me about the person that texted me saying that Maddie and him were dating. I already knew this, so I was like, okay, but as the conversation continued, Andrea told me she met him on TikTok, and that hit me. The guy she was talking about, she talked to me about this guy she made friends with on TikTok, and that was the guy that Maddie had been talking to, so I was like, okay, it doesn't matter, it's fine. Until I asked him when they confessed to each other, and that hurt me even more, is that what he told me absolutely destroyed me. He told me that he confessed to her while we were dating, and she accepted that. She was willing to be with him. So what I'm saying is, when we broke up, she didn't hesitate to go with him. She already had plans to be in a relationship with this person. She already had a crush on him. I don't know why I thought that she would be loyal, because she was a toxic person, and I guess, somehow it did hurt me, even though I knew that she would easily move on. So, after that, I get pictures from Andrea of the group in a call together, Kenzie and Ryleigh and Maddie smiling and happy, and that only increased my mind's negative thoughts, because when I think, I just think about things see, they don't care, and, they're happier without you, and I can't go to anyone because I don't want to ruin things for them. And Ryleigh and Kenzie and everyone else that was in the call were the people I would go to, but I can't really do that now, can I? So throughout these past days, I've been having breakdowns, thinking about Ryleigh, thinking about Kenzie, and my mind just keeps playing all of those times where me and Ryleigh would be perfectly fine, and then it goes to the exact moment when I introduced Maddie and Ryleigh, and that makes me wish I never did that, because I would still have my best friend with me. And now I will explain who will be in the streaming group and would possibly be called to me while streaming. So, the people that will now be streaming with me would most likely be Sky or Inferno. Inferno's Twitch is in my Twitch server in the, there's a channel in there that's Twitch. Let's see. I'm actually looking right now. Yeah, Twitch. And there's, Sky's Twitch is in there, Ryleigh's Twitch is in there, Skrilla's Twitch is in there. Skrilla's a really fun person. Am I saying their name right? Skrilla. I think it's Skrilla. But their Twitches are in there. Check them out right now. So, I'll mainly only be streaming with Sky or Inferno or by myself, because I, don't feel comfortable streaming with anyone else. Sky has played a huge support in this, even though Sky has not been online since the incident. I feel like Sky, literally senses when there's drama in the group chat, so he just leaves for a couple of months and then comes back when it's done. So, that's, what happened in this situation is why Kenzie isn't in the streaming group anymore, because it brings me pain when I'm around them or when they're brought up. I it's really hard for me to be around them or talk about them after all that's happened. I don't know. In the future, this all may be resolved and we may be friends, but I know for a fact that Maddie will not be in the equation. I'm really trying my best to fix things with Ryleigh because, like, people are telling me, like, you need to let her go. She might be your best friend, but what she said was unacceptable and you need to let her go. But, like, it's not that easy to let her go. Like, I'm telling myself, let her go, let her go. But there's that one part of me that's still, like, holding on for hope. So, I hope you can understand this. Thank you for taking your time to watch this. I apologize for bad mic quality also. I apologize for stuttering because, sometimes I fumble with my words and stutter. But really thank you for understanding the situation, and I will keep it updated if anything changes. And that's the end of Jassie and Ryleigh explained.